Hey everybody, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our channel at Flippin' Hippos. Today I wanted to talk about a subject that seems to be a very heated conversational topic amongst resellers within the community. Good till canceled versus 30-day listing. I'm going to tell you what Keith and I do and what our opinion strongly is what you should be doing. And it is based on our own experiments. We've listed some listings good till canceled, and we've done some 30 days. We've also, when we put the Unsolds back in the store, we have tried selling similar and relisting. And so we have tried both sides of each of these arguments, and we have done a lot of reading. We've done a lot of talking with other resellers and reading other people's experiences and things that they've discovered on their own. And we do what we feel is best for our store. And I can tell you what we do works for us. What works for us may not work for everyone. But I would, if I was asked to give advice, I would actually advise people to do things the way we do them, because we're pretty successful and everything seems to be working. So we list everything 30 days. And the reason we do that is because we don't have any multi-quantity items. We have one-offs. Most of our inventory at current is clothing. In the summer months, when Pennsylvania isn't a frigid witch's tit, we can go yard selling and we get a little more hard goods in the store. But right now we're limited to what we can find at thrift stores on 99-cent days, and that's usually clothing. And they're all one-offs. They're all unique. Everything we pull off the rack that we buy, or if we go to the bins and dig it out, we have one. So we list it for 30 days because we don't have a multi-quantity. We don't need a history of watchers. We don't need a build-up history of purchases. And so that's part of the reason why. Now, say you're someone who, I don't know what to use as an example. Say like you find these cups. You get them wholesale. And you get 100 a month, and you list 150 sell, and you have thousands of watchers. That's something you want to do good till canceled, because you can just change your quantity that you have every time you get more stock in. So if you had 100 and you sold 50 and you get 100 more, you can change it to that you have 150, and that listing keeps that history of solds and the popularity, and it will help it move up in the search. But if it's a one-off item, it's not going to get those watchers, that history, the sells, the adding of the inventory, and then, the sales making it go lower. So it will actually be considered stale. Eventually that item will be considered stale by Cassini, and it will get pushed down in the searches. So when it ends after 30 days and you put it back in the store, depending on how you put it back in, it pushes it back up the searches. So should you be doing good till canceled or 30 days? Well, if you have multi-quantities, popular items that are going to sell and gather watchers and gather that history, you want to do good till canceled. If you thrift for unique items, whether it's clothing, glassware, stuffed animals, if they're one-offs, you want to do 30 days. When they end and go to your Unsolds, should you be selling similar, or should you be relisting? Again, this is going to depend on the item. If you have a listing for 50 wrenches and 25 sold, and you had a good history, you want to relist it because it keeps the same item number that it had. It's considered the same listing by Cassini, and it will go right back into where it was in the search engine with all that history attached to it. So the watchers will be notified that it's relisted, and you keep its integrity, and it stays the exact same listing. It just goes back in. Again, if it's a Ralph Lauren polo shirt, you really don't want to just slide it right back in. You don't want to relist it because it's going to keep that same item number and the same place in the search engine, and by now it's stale. After 30 days, Cassini's going to consider it stale unless it's a multi-quantity that has action on it. So by selling similar, You're creating an entirely brand new listing with a brand new item number that's going to, because it's new, shoot right up into the search engine rankings. So it didn't sell in the first 30 days. You sell similar, it's a new item. It shoots right back up. And then if you have good photos, good titles, good keywords to back all that up, it has a better chance of selling the second time around. And you can even lower the price if you want to try and get it sold the second time. I did do last week, I did a 5-minute video on how to bulk all of your unsolds to sell similar all at once. So if you had like 100, you could do 100 of them all at once. I will link that video down below so you can watch it if you need to. And it's a good way to keep your store active as well. If you want to go and take a couple days off from listing, if you just don't feel like it, if something comes up, because we all know life happens and we don't always reach our listing goals every day, doing the unsolds in bulk real quick as sell similar tricks Cassini, so to speak. So if you didn't list all day and at the end of the day you grab all 100 unsolds and quickly sell similar and put them back in your store, each one of those 100 items gets that new item number. It's viewed as a new listing. It shoots up in the searches, but it also lets Cassini know that you just listed 100 items today, brand new items, because you're sold similar. She thinks they're new. And so she thinks your store is active, and it's a way to keep your store from getting stale or going down or losing sales if you're not listing by doing these. We actually have experimented with that several times. We took a 4-day weekend off with the kids once and didn't touch the store, and sales tanked. And it took us almost a week of listing every day consistently to get our sales back up to where they were. And then the next time the kids had a break from school, I think it was Thanksgiving, we took 5 days off, and we did the unsolds in the morning and at night. We just checked them maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Our sales actually increased. So when we didn't touch our store at all for 4 days, our sales tanked. It took us a week to recoup. When we took 5 days off and just checked our unsolds each day and sell similar, so it's a new listing, we actually went up. Our sales increased as they would if you were listing every day and keeping it active. So at the end of the day, I 100% believe if you have multi-quantity listings, things that are popular, things that you sell on a regular basis, you definitely should have those as good till canceled, or you could do them as 30-day and relist to keep that same item number for them. And if you're doing unique items, rare items, one-of-a-kinds, one-offs, you should definitely be doing 30-day. And when they come unsold, you should be selling similar so they look new. Stale items are going to get pushed down in the search engine. New items are going to come up. Things get allegedly pushed up the first 3 days and the last 3 days. So if you have a 30-day item, that's at least the beginning and the end where you're getting a bigger push. If it's good till canceled, it just kind of sits and gets stale and gets pushed down. And then if you want to relist it, well, guess what? Wherever it was, it's still got the same item number. It's still the same listing to Cassini. You may have relisted it, but there are people who swear that they do good till canceled. They've always done good till canceled, and they never will not do good till canceled, and they don't feel like their stuff gets stale. They don't feel like they get pushed down in the search engines. I know the stuff I've experimented with, no. I will always forever follow this business model. 30 days, sell similar the unsolds. Again, I'll list below the 5-minute video to show you how to do it real quick. If you like this video, please do me a favor and smash that like button down below. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.